Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. I've just done a recording for the July astrology, which is pretty huge. I'm going to upload that to both channels, but I'd like to do a follow-up on the Zeta channel with a collective message from Ophiuchus as the cosmic shaman. And what I was guided to do was to draw a layout of 9 cards so I could see what we're going to be dissolving in July. And then I asked for 3 cards so I could see what new blueprint is coming in, what we're building. So for the last bit, 4 cards have come out. So let's read into those and see how they are. How are you? How are you finding these times? What's changing in your world? Right. So the first 3 cards are getting lost in creative ways. Starts with a 36-9. Yeah. Bringing the blueprint into the heart, dissolving the old, letting go of the old. It's going to make you feel some kind of way. And if we're dissolving, then we're talking about letting go of needing direction and making our own direction. I was talking in the last video about the Fool as a contraction of the word soul and new fool journeys. And to step onto this path of freedom, it's looking like we're definitely going to have to transmute some old beliefs and behaviors and paradigms. And that's going to feel some kind of way. There's a willful betrayal in there of that which has not served us. And that may play out in relationships, because it's all happening in Taurus, so much happening in Taurus. Of the made world, the North Node point where we're heading. And learning to see our journey in a totally different way, in a more creative way, in a way that we may not have seen coming yet. And learning to trust the journey. So trust. So from the point of dissolving, that's letting go of trusting what we're told to do. It's coming into a real personal will, divine will, by letting go of the structures that control behavior, that shape behavior, that tell us what we can and cannot do. Well, and that's all happening in the middle world. Another 69, another 36-9. Interesting. The made world, Taurus. And there's like an illusion of separation here. So it might be about having the courage to burst the bubble of what you currently believe. Dissolve the bubble. And in the last video, I was talking about the earth and learning to sing the new earth song. The earth heartbeat. Okay, and the last video will be called, I haven't uploaded it yet, but will be called Take It to Heart. Take it to heart. Listen to the heartbeat. And there's an inherent choice in this. That 15-6 is, there's a choice to go back to an old way of being because it's comfortable and familiar and we know it. And there's a choice to break open and move into the true heartbeat, the heartbeat of the earth that resonates through the body, connects into that quote from Nikola Tesla about everything is connected, or it's about the interconnectivity. So we're dissolving the illusion of separation. Now, this is interesting to me. So if we're releasing the ancient ones, what are we releasing in that? It's coming in on that one energy. Mars in Aries. So is this about rethinking what the ancestor is? Rethinking what the ancestor is. Now, this is a big one. So we've got Saturn retrograde at the moment in Aquarius, I believe. And that's going to challenge the egoic part of us that wants it now. It's going to challenge the id that I was speaking about in the last video. Luck and right timing. Well, again, when we stand back and look at a much bigger picture, we can see all the cogs and all the cogs that need to turn and lock into place for us to find that perfect moment, that perfect storm of change and creation. And to do that, we're going to have to get deeply into our intuition so that we absolutely know it and wild horses won't stop us doing it, taking action on it. So I guess, again, that links into the first card of needing direction. That's letting go of waiting to be told what to do. And we're into that off you pop energy. 63-9. Look at all these nines. This is fantastic. So I spoke before about running a drum circle and turning the wind, and we all saw it. We all saw it in trees and we all felt it in our heart. It was fantastic, powerful. And so this is about listening to the inner whispers and listening to nature's whispers, because there's no separation. Nature flows right through us in the quantum field. And the last of the 9 cards is focused intentionality based on a new belief system, based on improved trust, a radical self-ownership, not waiting to be told what to do. This really powerful intuition here. Because the more we tune into our intuition and go within rather than without, the more our heart, soul, mind can come together and put us on our path. And being put on our path might feel and look and challenge us to behave in very different ways, ways that may seem alien to the collective, which asks the bigger question of, are your collective serving you? Can your collective really fully meet you? If you walk a different path, will you still be held and loved? Or is it a fake love? Or is it a real love? Okay. And what we're building which is coming in on the 4, interesting. is the courage to take our healing journey into our own hands. So this is the end of the fix, solve, mend. This is the end of codependency and the birth of I own my journey. I birth my own karma. So this is the writing of the sacred contract, which was in the last reading. Owning our own story. Wow, this is a beautiful autonomy being birthed here, the return of the sovereign self. Freedom. It's coming in on that 13-4, the blueprint wanting to birth into the container. This is gorgeous, building energy. Seeing the big picture, getting way up above the fray. And so you could say that this is Aquarian energy. It's the higher mind observing a bigger picture and taking action on it. So light initiation. This is bringing in the new blueprints. Teacher awakening. So this is receiving, that's receiving the blueprints. And divine magic, so it's birthing the magical self. And we've done all of that work with rebirthing the magical child, resurrecting the child. And the underlying card for those three, what we're building. Access to it all. Look at all these different realities, libraries. And they're all coming into this earth. This is all the codes that are coming into the earth. So this is linking in with when I saw the earth cracking open and this new harmonic coming out. This is like a unified song. Akashic Stargate, aligned with purpose, crossroads, no wrong path. This is why we look outwards for direction, because there are consequences of making the wrong decision. The wrong decision is based on an old paradigm that hasn't served and still is not serving. It just serves the few at the expense of the many. So if there's no wrong path and you're fully supported, what can you do now? That's it. And that's it. And the underlying card for what we're dissolving. Spirit of the river, Cancer season. Cancer is cardinal water. Movement towards adventure. And here comes the adventure. That's the freedom to be yourself. I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and it's become such an ism when we say, oh, just be yourself. Yeah, but who am I? But who am I? Because if we have access to all of this, who are you? Or what are you? Okay, so. That's it. It's the end of us running around chasing our tail, digesting the past and digesting the past and digesting the past. It's the birth. It's the birth. Brilliant. Let's wrap this up. It doesn't need to be lengthy. This is such a beautiful message. Surrender. I'm going to go surrender and then a cheeky abundance card. What can we surrender to during July? Absolutely. Oh, crikey. All right. Need all of those? Yeah. This is everything I was talking about in the first. Surrender to people pleasing. Notice if you find yourself micromanaging other people's behavior so they don't have a meltdown. Notice yourself controlling, because the tower has to fall. But our drive to control is so deeply ingrained in us. So surrender the habit of people pleasing. Speak to your needs. And that's the big question for Cancer season, isn't it? What is your emotional needs? What are your emotional needs? So that's about being true to yourself. Surrender to prayer. Speak to your heart. Speak to your heart. Take it to heart. Self-esteem is based on doingness. Self-worth is based on beingness. So self-esteem looks like the job you have, the car you drive, the clothes you wear, the people you hang with. So self-esteem, and that's going to come down. That's all going to come down. And what are you left with? You're left with self-worth. That's the real McCoy. That's the nuts and bolts of being human. I wouldn't worry too much about self-esteem. It will come down in the loss of material possessions. Let it go. Easy to say. And this is where we uphold the tower, because we want to keep it looking good, because it's how we're seen in the world. And so it's narcissistic and vain and insecure. Okay. It's insecurity that drives self-esteem. Confidence, personal confidence is what drives self-worth. The confidence to truly be yourself. Oh, this one's been in the field. I forgot to mention this. This one has really been in the field. The self-justification of behavior. The right, wrong, compete, compare. It's two children in a room. It's about winning the point. What are you defending? What are you upholding and what are you not letting fall down? Make a mess. Make a mess. And lastly, yeah, absolutely. In a moment of conflict, effortlessness might be as simple as hold your tongue. Move to silence and let the heart speak. Stop pushing so hard. The art of living means going with the flow instead of trying to force the river. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, let's finish with an abundance card. Wow. There's that blooming 8th house again. 8th house was all over the last reading. You make your own karma now. You make your own karma with every thought, word, activity, behavior. There's nothing from a past life that can't be addressed in the current life. But if we're writing new soul contracts, which we are, then we're making our own karma. Ah, thank you. Right. Okay, where's it gone? It's there. Right, I get this now. This is about maybe an obligation. It might be as strong as an obligation to heal the past on behalf of the ancestor. Well, what if not? What if less of that? What if we're dissolving that adherence to the ancestor? This is interesting. There's nothing from a past life that can't be addressed in the current life. Okay, so where do we go to past lives? They're all concurrent. They're all concurrent, let's say concurrent lives. Where do we go to concurrent lives and pull the best onto this timeline? That's a challenge. We're breaking the container. Oh, breaking the container. Eternity is far more creative than the rigid, constrained, and exhausted ego. Well, fabulous. Okay, I have no idea what to call this, but I hope that helps in some way as we approach July tomorrow. And I'm going to leave you with my love and an invitation to like, share, subscribe, and leave me a comment. That's it for now, and I will see you all again soon. Much love. Bye-bye.